Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Connie. I'm Connie Fuksa with Foote Title Group, where we protect your home ownership. I hope everybody's having an awesome Tuesday. I really look forward to coming on and talking to you guys about things that I see that happen in the real estate industry, that come up, maybe questions that you may have, that you may come across, or some weird things that we see happening that may affect you or may spur some questions, maybe some problems that you may have. So I know I'm a little behind today, and I really appreciate your patience. Some days just don't come together as you expect. So I appreciate your patience and your time. So if you're tuning in with us, please say hey, let me know that you're on. I appreciate you taking the time and tuning in. So thanks so much for that time. Hey, Cecilia, how are you this morning? So I really wanted to talk about this because this is a common thing that comes up a lot of times when people don't, or maybe are advised when they go to closing, not to get a survey on the property that they're purchasing. And I really recommend against that for a lot of reasons. Mainly because there's things that you don't know about that property that would show up with a valid survey on that property. So if you are buying a piece of property and you think you know what you're purchasing, that isn't always the case. And so I really recommend that when you purchase a piece of property that you ask for a location survey. Here's why. So, hey there, Christy. How are you this morning? Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Brian. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. So, here's an example of exactly why that happens. So, if you purchase a piece of property, and this actually happened recently to a customer that we're working with. They did get a survey, thank goodness, so they were aware of this, but they actually were purchasing a piece of property that to them looked like a long rectangular piece of property on the water, had an older home that was going to be torn down and rebuild and build a new house. And so when they went to have the survey done for that piece of property, they found out that there was a piece of property in between, right directly in between those two pieces of property that they were purchasing. They thought it was one long rectangular piece of property, but instead there was actually a division of that property right square in the middle of it, a 30-foot piece that was not part of that property, that actually was designated when that property was subdivided, or when that drawing showing what all those properties in that neighborhood look like. There actually was a road designated on that subdivision plat. Now, this road's never been developed. It looks like grass. You go out and purchase that piece of property, and it looks like there's nothing there but the property that you think you're owning. And in fact, in this particular case, the sellers that were selling it had owned it for a very long time. It was a family situation. And the parents had just recently, well, one of the parents had recently passed, and so they were selling the property out to help take care of the other parent. And when the survey was done, we discovered that it actually was two pieces of property, not one piece. And in the middle of those two pieces of property was a 30-foot roadway that to the naked eye, or to the eye when you walked out to that piece of property, didn't look like it even existed. So no one even knew there was such a thing there. So when we had the survey of that property done, we were able to disclose to those purchasers that, hey, you are buying a piece of property that actually is divided in half, and there's another ownership on that piece in the middle. So it's not going to necessarily cause you a problem immediately, because this property was subdivided back in the 40s, and so no one ever acted on making that road, and so it probably never will happen. But someone does have the right, because someone else owns 30 feet of what you thought you purchased, right square in the middle. And the problem in this case is that the road getting to that property is on the far side of the property. Then there's a walkway from the road over to the home right through this 30-foot piece. So if someone decided that that 30-foot piece was theirs and they wanted to develop that road, they would actually require that movement of that walkway, removal of the middle part of that walkway, and you might not be able to get to where the house is. So they may develop that road and you'd have to be able to walk across the road, but you wouldn't own right square in the middle. It's a valid ownership question, and the only way to have found that out would have been being able to do a location survey on that property. So if, and so let's say a scenario that a location survey wasn't done at that closing, and those people purchased that piece of property, and in my little entry, someone came in 5 years from now, 2 years from now, 4 years from now, 10 years from now, and started developing a road in that piece. Now, you certainly have a legal argument that you've been using that property for all of this time and no one can come in and do that. But again, this becomes a legal argument that you have to defend yourself. So you have to get an attorney, you have to go to court, you have to file all the proper paperwork, and then the court has to approve it. So all of those things could be technically problems that you're going to have to deal with your ownership, that the title insurance policy that protects your home ownership will cover you, but only if you get a location survey to show what's actually on that property. So 2 things about this that I want to point out to you. Number 1, when someone recommends that you don't get a location survey because it could be expensive, think about this kind of concept where it will define for you what you're actually purchasing. And 2, when someone recommends that you don't purchase title insurance to protect your ownership interest, again, go back to this thought that if you had the survey, but you didn't have insurance to protect you and someone came in and did that, then you wouldn't have any protection to discuss that, to have someone help you make that legal presentation. So just some thoughts to think about this morning. Hey, Phil, how are you? Good morning, Laura. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. So if, the thing I want to leave you with about this is title insurance, which is what the title insurance company does for you, protects your home ownership. So don't ever let someone tell you that you don't need that, because you will have protection to cover not only necessarily a problem, but also the legal ramifications of the problem. Title insurance covers you and actually has attorneys that defend your interests and will come in and take care of the legal side of that, which can get very expensive. And then also a location survey showing what you're purchasing and what is actually located there is going to be very important as well, to protect you, to make sure that everything you see sitting there is really what you own. So hopefully I helped you think about some different things today. I really appreciate the time that you guys do. Oh, thank you so much, Cecilia. I appreciate you tuning in, and hopefully I did help you a little bit. Hey there, Pam. How are you? A couple of things I want to leave you with. Number 1, if you are a small title company and you want to work together to learn some marketing techniques, to collaborate on some questions, concerns, things, help it make our industry better, click over to bit.ly, bit.ly small title company marketing. And you'll be able to join a group we have there that helps us be able to do what I try to do, be better at explaining things to our community. The other thing is on footetitlegroup.com, you can go on there and download our latest piece of information, which is 10 things that first-time homebuyers need to know. And it's right on the middle of our website, right square in the middle. It says what's new. Click on that button and you can get that information. And hopefully I helped you with a little bit today. There's lots of resources on our website, not just that one, but things we've posted in the past. And I always look forward to talking to you guys. If you run across questions or things that maybe you're thinking about, or something happens with respect to your closing, share it with me, whether privately or publicly, so I can help other people understand what those kind of things mean and how to deal with them. So hope you guys have a fantastic Tuesday. I always look forward to talking to you. Thank you for tuning in with Coffee with Connie. I'm Connie Fuksa with Foote Title Group, where we protect your home ownership. Have a great day, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.